Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It has been a while indeed. I've just been dealing with life. I've been working. I don't know. Life has been pretty hectic. I'm not going to be doing the story time how I usually do it. You know why I'm talking and stuff, considering I am in a rush. Literally 7:35 in the morning. I'm gonna be doing my makeup. It's just I'm gonna be doing a voiceover. I'm not really gonna be as interactive this time. I'm just gonna try something new. Oh, also, I'm so sorry that I've been MIA for like almost 2 months. Okay, I've just been going through it. Appreciate if you could like, subscribe, comment down below. Get into it. So let's begin. I'm not homophobic, but gay people kind of gross me out. I also wanted to clarify this is not my story time. I'm literally pansexual. How can that wouldn't make any sense, but let's get into it. So my name is Liberty and I'm 21 years old. I have a very, very Catholic family. Being gay was easily a sin, and I could not be exposed to anything gay. My parents made sure of this in every single aspect. I couldn't watch the cool cartoons kids were watching, like Steven Universe. There was a lot of speculation around the show, you know, being LGBTQ plus based at times, so my parents would not let me watch that. Even if the show was not as intense as Steven Universe, they still would not let me watch it, even if it accepted the LGBTQ plus community, because they didn't want me picking up that behavior. I couldn't listen to certain artists that supported it or that made songs about it, nothing. I was never homophobic. I never had a problem with gay people to begin with. It was just me being gay was not tolerated and they did not want to risk that happening. So one day, I hung out with this guy, Joe. He was cool and he slowly became my best friend over time. We both loved playing Minecraft, we both loved playing Fortnite, we both loved playing Lego. Just kid games at the time. And me and him just worked so well together. Like, I could talk to this dude about anything and he would just understand where I was coming from. He really helped me grow emotionally as well and how to take care of my feelings. Because my family had the mentality that men shouldn't necessarily express their feelings, they're only meant to be caregivers, which was really unfair on me. And Jill made sure that I knew this. We were like brothers at birth. He was like the brother I never had before. One thing I noticed about Joe, which was kind of annoying though, was he wouldn't necessarily give me any girl advice. There would be many, many times where I would like girls, but he would either brush it off or just say, man, it's not worth it. Like, just don't date until you're older and know what you want. You're just going to be wasting time. This is puppy love, etc., etc. Like, I'm talking about this dude did anything in his power to stop me from dating any girls. It was insane, and I didn't notice it at the time. So every single girl that came up to me and confessed to me ended up rejecting me because Jill made me believe that relationships really weren't worth anything until high school or college. Everyone thought I was gay for whatever reason. I explained to them I just wasn't gay, I just didn't want to waste my time, and they understood. Soon we ended up growing up and high school came around. Now, Jill acted the same, but this is where he started acting even more different. I remember there was this one time I asked him, like, yo, can you go tell this girl that I liked her? And he said, yeah, sure. And he literally blew it off for like 3 days and didn't ask her once. And then when he finally talked to her, he was like, I don't think you should date him, honestly speaking. He isn't really suitable for relationships. He told me he told the girl this just to help me out, but I had to clear up the misunderstanding, and that person was now my partner. So her name was Maria. Maria was such a sweet girl. She was Catholic as well, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with her. My parents loved her and approved of her. But for whatever reason, Jill just always had a problem with her. He just did not like her and thought she was bad news. Maria expressed to me that this upsetted her, but she was willing to work out any miscommunications they could have potentially had, and I just explained to her, you didn't do anything wrong. Jill is just acting weird, which I don't know why. So I tried to talk to Jill about Maria, and he did not want to talk about her, like, at all whatsoever. I'm talking about, like, I would bring up her name, and he would just instantly shut down the conversation. He even set a boundary at some point for me not to speak about her because of his intuition, or, I don't know, just the thought of her name just triggered him, which I didn't understand why. So one day, me and Jill were just, like, hanging out, having fun, playing our games as we usually do, and he told me he has something really important to tell me, but he was afraid of my reaction. I was like, dude, how bad could it be? He asked me, he was like, are you homophobic or do you hate gay people? And I was like, no, dude, of course not. Are you gay? And Jill looked at me and said, yeah, he thinks he is. I paused for a moment and processed it, but I was happy for him and I congratulated him on him finding out who he truly was. I thought that probably explained why he gave really shitty relationship when it came to, like, you know, my relationship, because it was a straight relationship. It wasn't necessarily a gay relationship. But yeah, then after that, he told me he had another thing to tell me, and he hoped that I didn't hate him after this. And this is where I started kind of feeling nervous, because it was like, what could you possibly tell me that would make me hate you? So he told me to close my eyes, and I laughed and asked why, and he begged for me to do it, and I was like, okay. Next thing you know, his lips were literally pressed against mine, and I was so confused, and I pushed him off, and I was like, dude, why did you do that? And he was like, I've liked you ever since we were younger, and I didn't really realize my feelings until now. He explained that he knew I grew up in a strict household where being gay wasn't prohibited, but honestly, like, there would be times where I would, like, jokingly flirt with you and you would flirt back, so I just assumed that you were bi, or maybe bi-curious or something. You were willing to kind of explore it. I told him that I wasn't gay at all whatsoever, and that I was straight, and that I'm not bi anything. Those bro jokes that we made were just simply jokes, and I meant nothing by them. And he looked hurt and didn't necessarily know how to respond. I thought this behavior was extremely weird, and I felt very uncomfortable, but at the same time, physically I wasn't feeling uncomfortable. If anything, physically I enjoyed the kiss, if you get what I mean. But I knew I wasn't gay, and that's what frustrated me the most. I legit just stared at him, and I just got up and just walked out, and I didn't speak to him for a couple of days, to be honest. I didn't really know how to react. I mean, for one, he kissed me without my consent, and he also interpreted that I was gay. It almost seemed that he tried to force the idea of being gay upon me, like I didn't have a choice, or he was trying to pressure me into being gay. But I knew I wasn't gay. I've just never been attracted to men in the first place. I've only been attracted to women. And this is when I started spiraling into a really bad depression. For one, I felt like I had cheated on Maria, even though I didn't necessarily go in for the kiss. I thought maybe I gave him the idea that I was interested in him, when in reality I wasn't. And two, like, I thought I sinned. I thought I was sinning hardcore, and that when I died, I was gonna go, below. I didn't want to talk to my parents about it, because I felt like they would just take him to court and do some crazy shit towards him, and I honestly didn't feel like going through that. So I stopped talking to him for a couple of months, actually. And then one day I walked up to him and asked him how he was doing. He just stood in shock, I guess, and he didn't really know what to say. I said, dude, look, I don't like you back, and I never will, but we can still stay friends. You just have to accept the fact that I'm not gay. And he was like, okay, I'm down with that idea. So we ended up talking, and, we caught up on things, and we just ended up going back to normal. I forgave him for what he did, and he got over me, I think. So this was around the time where prom was coming around. I wanted to do this special, spectacular thing for Maria. I wanted to get her a limo and get her some flowers, take her out for dinner, all that jazz. I mean, yeah, food would be provided at prom, but I don't know, I just wanted to take her out to a dinner. So I ended up having a piggy bank in my room, and I saved about $2,000 inside of it. And then when I checked... Hey guys, it is dark as fuck in my room, but it is time for the shoutouts. So on the last video, I told you guys to put an hourglass and all that jazz, so I'm just going to shout out a couple of people. So shout out to this person. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that part. It really helps me out. I really appreciate this as well. Really helps me out. Thank you for the hourglass as well. Not the hourglass, the obsidian crystal ball. Shout out to this person, Pinky. Thank you. So if you guys want to shout out in this video, comment down below lollipop, or just put a lollipop emoji, either or. You will be shouted out in the next video. Make sure you're subscribed, because I will be checking. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please do not skip the ads. I beg of you. It really, really, really helps me out and keeps this channel going. And, hopefully at some point I will only be posting on YouTube. So therefore you won't have to wait for the part 3s or 2s on TikTok. So the more you don't skip these ads and the more you guys come here, more story times you get. And then when I checked what the amount was inside the piggy bank, I kid you not, dude, there was only $100 left. And I was so infuriated. I was so upset. I had questioned my parents and asked them if they took the money, but they said lying and stealing was a sin, so they wouldn't took it. Or wouldn't have taken it, I mean. So then there was only one person left, and that was Joe. I immediately started ringing Joe's phone like crazy, but he wasn't answering this time for whatever reason, so I ended up going to his house. I was like, dude, what did you do with my money? He apologized and said he had a stealing problem, and he said he saw all of the money and couldn't help himself. I asked him what he did with the money, and it turns out he bought some weed and he also bought a PlayStation. I asked him if he could return it or do something to get the money back, and he couldn't. I was infuriated. And this is when I ended up cutting him off. Because a true friend would never steal from you, problem or not. And he also caused so many issues for me throughout my entire lifetime anyways, and made me question my sexuality when I didn't even want to question it to begin with. But I needed a way to get back at him. So I waited until prom day. I talked to the school council, kind of explained my situation, and this is where I was going to expose him. He hadn't came out yet to anyone, but I didn't really care because he put me through hell and back. So, when we were on the dance floor, I exposed all of his text messages, and I put a picture of a guy kissing him on the board. When I turned around and saw the look on his face, he started crying. After that day, I have not heard from him since. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I really hope you enjoyed the story time and enjoyed watching me do my makeup. I would really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and I really appreciate it if you did not skip the ads throughout the video. It really helps me keep this channel going, and it really helps me as well, as I'm struggling. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bum, 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 bum.